This Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all are joining the call today?
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devi Dasi from Elcon.
Hare Krishna Indulekha Karna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devidasi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna Yashomati Priya Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Shama Gauri Devi Dasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna Shamagori Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, my humble obeisances to you and all assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Paran Pavani Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I welcome all of you once again. Thank you, everyone, for joining today's Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today, we are really fortunate to have His Grace Sukumar Gaur Prabhu to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, verse 7.14.38. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to hand over the call to Sundarangi Radha Mataji for the brief introduction. Hare Krishna Mataji, over to you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for giving me the opportunity. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. Today's speaker is His Grace Sukumar Gaur Prabhuji. Prabhuji was born in Maharashtra, Indian family in 1980. He brought up in a social background where spirituality was often questioned. Later, he developed a natural taste for inquiry into the mysteries of God's creation. He passed College of Engineering, Pune Mechanical Engineering in 2003. He came in touch with the devotees of International Society for Krishna Consciousness in 2003. He found all his questions answered in the books of Srila Prabhupada. As a student of MBA Finance, he studied Srila Prabhupada's books and became a sincere practitioner. He joined the NCDEX, National Commodities and Derivatives Exchange, Mumbai, as assistant manager and worked for 3 years. Later, he took on a 2-year brahmachari training course in Sri Sri Radha Gopinath Temple, Mumbai, and was initiated into the Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in 2010. He was in the youth preaching department and was in the seva of guiding the youth. He always wanted to share his joy of Krishna consciousness with the youth. So he gave up his job and decided to help the misguided youth by helping them understand the message of Bhagavad Gita. He joined ISKCON Chowpatty as a resident in 2009. Later, he was posted to ISKCON Nasik Temple. He is serving as a youth counselor in various colleges of Nasik. He conducts seminars on personality of development in educational and corporate sectors. All glories to all Prabhuji's wonderful services. Thank you so much, Mataji. This was a brief introduction about today's speaker. Now I will hand over the call to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for that brief introduction on Prabhuji. Is Prabhuji there? Yes. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept all of our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving your time, valuable association in this Bhakti Sangha conference call. We are really fortunate to have you. And today's words is 7.14.38. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible, Mataji? It's okay. And
Yes,
you're
yes, yes, Prabhuji.
some internet issue here, so maybe the network may drop or there may be some voice breaking. So I'm shutting my video just to have more clarity in the session. Is it okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनित नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्वेत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्णा. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 14, text number 38. तेष एव भगवान् राजं तारतम्येन वर्तते तस्मात् पात्रं हि पुरुषो यावन् आत्म यथेतते. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada. O King Yudhishthir, the super soul in every body gives intelligence to the individual soul according to his capacity of for understanding. Therefore, the super soul is the chief within the body. The super soul is manifested to the individual soul according to the individual's comparative development of knowledge, austerity, penance, and so on. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In Bhagavad Gita 15:15, it is said, Matta Smritir Jnanam Apohanam Cha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is, in his localized aspect, gives intelligence to the individual soul as far as he is able to grasp it. Therefore we find the individual soul in different high and low positions. The living entity with the body of a bird or beast cannot take instructions from the super soul as adequately as an advanced human being. Thus, there are gradations of bodily forms. In the human society, the perfect Brahmana is supposed to be the most advanced in spiritual consciousness. And further advanced than the Brahmana is the Vaishnava. Therefore, the best persons are the Vaishnavas and Vishnu. When charity is to be given, one should take instructions from Bhagavad Gita. Datavyam yat iti danam diyate अनुपकारिणे देशे काले च पात्रे च तद्दानं सात्विकं smritam. The gift which is given out of duty at a proper time and place to worthy person and without expectation of return is considered to be charity in the mode of goodness. One should give charity to Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, for thus the Supreme Personality of Godhead will be worshipped. In this connection, Srila Madhvacharya recommends ब्रह्मादि स्थावरंतेषु न विशेषो हरिकचित व्यक्ति मात्र विशेषेण तारतम्यम वदन्ति च. Beginning from Brahma down to ant, everyone is conducted by the super soul. Ishwarah sarvabhutanam riddeshe arjuna tishtati. But because of a particular person's advancement in spiritual consciousness is considered to be important. Therefore, the Brahmana Vaishnava is important, and above all, the super soul, the supreme personality of Godhead, is the most important personality. Hare Krishna. So we welcome all devotees for this Srimad Bhagavatam class. So grateful to all of you for allowing me to make a presentation on Srimad Bhagavatam. Very beautiful chapter. Chapter is entitled "The Ideal Family Life," and with so many details given by Shukadev Goswami himself, and also beautiful purports by Srila Prabhupada in regards to how to understand all these technicalities, because there are certain shlokas which can be very easily misunderstood here, and that is why we need somebody who can tell us the right interpretation or the right meaning of the shloka. So let's take a brief recap and then we'll come to the shloka, because there are so many things that which can be discussed and understood in a broader perspective. For this shloka, we'll take at the end, we'll take a pastime from Bhagavatam 6th canto, and then try and elaborate the understanding of what is happening here till now. So if we look at the start of the chapter, there are two ways that are given for anybody to achieve the ultimate goal of life: the Nivritti Marga and the Pravritti Marga. Nivritti Marga is the path of renunciation, and Pravritti Marga is the path of being in the mainstream, following all the duties, trying to fulfill all your desires, and at the end, trying to come to the path of liberation. So that is what is the Pravritti Marga. And the effects of both the paths are given. Nivritti Marg leads to liberation, and Pravritti Marg, there are major chances of leading to one more birth. And that is what causes concern to Yudhishthir Maharaj. And here we see Narad Muni giving him solutions for all those things. Just like in the second shloka, he gives that for anybody to travel the path of Nivritti Marg, he needs association of great devotees, Mahamuni, which we discussed in the last session when we took. And what do this Mahamuni teach? Mahamuni have already learned the art of Vasudeva Arpanam, offering everything to Lord Vasudev, Lord Krishna. The Mahamunis teach the same thing to the devotees or the practitioners of the Pravritti Marga, or the devotees or the practitioners of Grahastha Dharma. Why they have to be taught? Because they are attached, and since the attachment is deep, so just one meeting is not sufficient, because they're attached to so many things. Atmajaya, Sutagara, Pashu, Dravana Bandhushu. So many things are described in the second shloka. And that is why they have to do something that is called as Shravana, Bhagavata, Katha, Amrita, Abhikshanam. They have to always hear from this Mahamuni. So what happens after hearing from Mahamuni? There is change in behavior after hearing from Mahamuni, or the path that is given by the Mahamuni. If somebody follows, then the person starts getting detached from this material world. But as he starts getting detached, he may get detached, but other people with whom he stays may still be attached. So what to do in that case? So in the fifth shloka, he is saying externally he should act as if he is attached to his family members and his family duties, but internally he should be detached. And in the sixth shloka, he says how to do that. Sixth shloka, he says keep the life as simple as possible. Externally, he should agree to the suggestions of his family, but internally he should be firm, so that he doesn't create a cumbersome life for himself, by which he may get diverted from the goal of his life. But what if a person, if he understands the reality, but what if he tries to get more than what is required, since he has some concern for his family, his friends, his society? Then the eighth shloka says that if somebody takes more than required, or if he tries to stock more than required, he is called as Stena. Stena is a thief and is punishable by the laws of nature. So then, what has he to be doing? So, to what extent he should go? So, he should try to, if he has got something, he should try to divide it and try to take care of all those who are dependent on him. So, who all are dependent on the grahasthas? There are trees, there are animals, there are poor people. So, all the categories is given. So, he has to take care of the animals. How? As his own sons or daughter. This is how he should be acting with animals. We see this in the human society. Some animals are taken care of very nicely, but some are absolutely neglected, and huge amount of cruelty is shown towards such animals. So, in one of the commentaries, a very beautiful point for chapter number 3, Anena Prasavishadvam Yeshuvo Ishtakama, the shloka comes in chapter 3, Bhagavad Gita. And the entire Shrishti Chakra, the cycle of the creation, is given there. And at the start of creation, what has happened is described in chapter number 3. So there, the same point is made that the human in the human society, especially for the grahasthas, they are considered as the topmost. Why topmost? Because they maintain all the other three ashramas. Not only the other three ashramas of the human society, but also they have to maintain the animals and trees also. They are also dependent on the human society. For example, just like in the nature, we very frequently see, or we see this happening when we plant something. Uh, for example, if we plant wheat, then we see that there is a stem that comes up, and at the top, we see that there are many grains of wheat that come up. Okay, and this happens in cereals, this happens in millets, every tree we see this thing happening. So the stem part or the trunk part is meant for the animals, and the top part is meant for the humans to be consumed. But who is the one who plants it? It is the human. So directly the animals who survive by eating greenery or green grass or green stems are also dependent on humans, because they can't plant trees by themselves. They can support the ecosystem by, just like cow supports the ecosystem by giving dung, which nourishes the tree. She has indirect contribution. But the main thing is that when the humans plant trees, consideration by nature is that the humans are responsible for taking care of animals as well as humans, because humans will consume the upper part and the lower part will be consumed by the animal. So directly humans are responsible for maintenance of the animals. But when the human becomes more greedy and he doesn't take proper care of animals, then what nature does is, the nature will not supply grains to humans, and humans will ultimately starve. But nature, what it does is, it will keep raining at a place where greenery can easily grow. And on that greenery, only grass will grow. And the animals can survive on the grass. But it will not rain in proper places, or it will have more rain, or it will have less rain, so that the grains will not fructify. So nature will maintain animals somehow or the other, but it will be very difficult for humans to maintain themselves if they don't take proper care of animals. So this is what comes up in chapter number 3, Bhagavad Gita. So here what is said in sloka number 9 is that humans are supposed to take care of animals and trees as their own children. So this is what we teach. Now, uh, we see that nature responding to humans in different ways. Not only the humans have to take care of animals, but they also have to take care of chandalas, untouchables, fallen, by giving them proper necessities. So for those who have money, they should always keep on donating, because nature will be looking to you as somebody who supports the entire ecosystem. Okay, and that is where we Prabhupada always used to say food distribution, prasadam distribution. Why? Because Prabhupada understood that each and every community needs food to survive, and that is why Prabhupada started this Food for Life mission, which is grown to such a great extent. Now we can see, just like we have here the Mahakumbha that is going on in India. So we see that so many industrialists are supporting through CSR funds, and they're donating huge amount of money for anybody who comes to the Mahakumbh. So this is how the entire ecosystem is developed and built upon. So we should always, just like sometimes devotee says, we should we donate to the poor. Yes, it is the role of a grahastha who has money, because if you don't donate for the needs, because donating and providing basic facility is the role of Lord Vishnu. He is the maintainer, and Lord Vishnu does that maintenance task through his own devotees. So devotees should donate for the basic necessities of the poor. So here not only poor, it is a chandal, untouchable, fallen. Now the one question is said that, what if they misuse money? Nobody is telling you to give money. What is said is food, clothing, shelter. Nobody is speaking about money here. Okay, so you need not give money, but just because you don't give money, you also stop giving other things as well. So that is not the thing. We have to contribute to poor in some way or the other. That is the role of a grahastha, and especially those grahastha who have some money to spend for the social cause. They must spend, because that is how Lord Vishnu maintains through his devotees or through people who are charitable. That is how he maintains the other people. Then one more duty of the grahastha that is told here is guest reception. So guest reception is such an important aspect of grahastha life that it can never be missed. And to what extent he has to do that guest reception? So here there is one person which is highlighted here. For a grahastha person, grahastha male, his wife is his most dear person. So he's here, it is said that he takes her help, and he uses, by taking her help, he serves the society. And that is why guest reception has to be done under all circumstances. I'll tell you one story from Mahabharata, very powerful story. Uh, this is Bhishmadev telling Yudhishthir Maharaj that how much guest reception has to be taken seriously. So there is one hunter who goes for his daily hunting duty, and when he goes for his daily hunting duty, he catches many birds. And at one spot, he catches a female and many of her kids. And now he's tied them up and he's kept them in his bag. And this female with her kids is shouting, and somehow or the other he comes at a place where the female bird was supposed to be staying. She stays at a certain particular tree, and when this hunter is going through the forest, suddenly there is huge storm and it starts raining badly. And this hunter comes and stops at the same tree where this female bird is staying. So he's carrying all this, and the male bird, the husband of this female bird, now he's lamenting very badly. He's thinking, when will she come? When will I see my kids? What to do? What not to do? Is she safe? And all these thoughts are running through his mind. And at the same time, he hears the voice of the female bird, his wife, the bird, who is sitting on the top of the same tree. Now, the hunter, somehow or the other, he understands the language of the birds, and he sees that this female bird is shouting and crying and telling her husband that we are caught up here in this hunter's nest. And the husband hears this. And as the husband hears this, he feels very sad that now my wife and my children are caught. Now, how can I live without them? But in all this chaos, this wife, she starts telling her husband that, see, it's raining heavily here, and this hunter has come to our home. Now, the tree is the nest, the home of the bird. And this pigeon, this female pigeon, she tells her husband that, see, he is a guest here. It has started raining. He has got wet and he's shivering. Do you see he's shivering? And then the bird from the top of the tree says, yes, I can see he's shivering. And by that time, this hunter, he tries to gather some wood, and somehow or the other, he tries to light a fire. After great endeavor, he somehow or other is able to light up that fire. And this bird, he sees that he has lit a fire. And then when he has lit a fire, this wife says, do something. He is hungry, he is shivering. If he doesn't eat, he'll die. And what to do now? He has guest at his house, but his wife is not there to serve. So this male bird, he sees that yes, there is guest at my place. My wife is caught up in this hunter's nest. There is nobody to serve this hunter who is guest at our place. Now, how do I feed him? How do I do something so that he can feel comfortable at our house? So this bird, he tells his wife, okay, now I'll arrange for some food for him so that he doesn't go hungry. This dialogue between the husband wife is being heard by this hunter. And when the hunter, now he is amazed that how will he organize for some food while it is raining so badly here, and I have got some place to hide and keep myself warm. How will I feed? How will he feed me? He is in great. He is feeling great anxiety as to how will this bird now organize food for me. And at that time, he sees that the bird jumps from the top of the tree and directly enters the fire that the hunter has lit up. He sacrifices his own body so that the hunter doesn't go hungry. And the hunter is so shocked. He's so shocked that the bird, just to satisfy my hunger, has given up his body. Immediately, he feels such a strong sense of renunciation that he sets all the birds free, seeing that this bird has given up his life for me. That a bird can understand the feelings of somebody else, but I, being a human, am not able to be sensitive to the need of this bird. So he'll set free all the birds. He goes to perform tapasya and he achieves a higher destination at the end of his life, this hunter. So that is the extent to which guest reception has to be taken seriously. And this mood has to be developed. This is a gradual development of the mood that is happening. So a person has to develop a certain mood. Just like here, the bird showed by his example that yes, I have a purpose, I have to do something higher. Maybe I'm not able to contribute very superiorly to the society, but yes, there is some contribution I can do. So he contributed in somebody else's life by giving up his own body. So in the entire journey, we are together as a family, just like everybody has his own family. So we have to always remind ourselves that we are in a journey. We are all together here for a while. We have to take care of each other so that we stay together, so that we can develop attachment to Krishna. All these people who have come in my life are sent by Krishna so that I can develop love for Krishna. But the exact opposite happens. The exact opposite happens. Rather than developing love for Krishna, we get attached to our own family member. It is not wrong, but it is not highly conducive to develop love for Krishna. And when we come to the story part again, which we'll be taking from the sixth canto, we'll elaborate on this point. Just like if a mother keeps her baby at a babysitting, the person who takes care of the baby at the babysitting is very much aware that the baby's mother will come and take her baby away. Now you may say that, oh, but the babysitting person is taking care of the baby. Yes, accepted. The mother pays the babysitting person. Similarly, Krishna will come and take away his own people. We have to be ready for that. Just like the mother will come and take away, Krishna will come and take away his own men or his own people at a certain given point. And how does Krishna pay? Krishna is paying when some baby is taking birth in a family, the baby laughs, the baby smiles, the baby cries, mother is taking care of the baby, mother is giving so much of love, care, affection to the baby is trying to make the mother happy by making some sounds and then some noise and playing here and playing there, trying to catch attention of the mother. This is how we are paid off by. We will never be paid in terms of staying together for a longer duration or for lifetimes or for infinite time or for eternity. No, we have to come to this understanding that the people who are the part of my life, they are meant to give me that safety, that security, but at the same time that understanding that they will be here with me for a very short period of time. I have to take their help and develop my love for Krishna. And that is where at the 13th, 14th shloka, then Shukdev Goswami is speaking that if you are not cautious about all these things, what can happen? And that is where he introduces this in the 12th shloka. The topmost attachment for a man is his wife, and the topmost attachment for a wife is his husband. His And for each other's attachment, they can kill themselves, they can kill somebody else, including their parents, their teachers, their spiritual master. Can we imagine the amount of attachment that we carry for somebody when we are very sure and clear that this person won't stay with me for life? And that person becomes my topmost attachment, my topmost priority, my entire life revolves around that one person. And that is where in the 12th shloka, Shukdev Goswami is saying that if one can give up his or her attachment to his or her husband or wife, he can conquer the supreme personality of Godhead. Just like 6th chapter, Krishna says, if anybody can conquer his mind, Paramatma is almost reached. He has reached the Paramatma. Similarly, if somebody is able to give up his or her attachment,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji is dropped off or what?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
No, Mataji.
No, Mataji. Prabhuji has dropped off.
Prabhuji got dropped off, so I think we'll wait a little longer.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Sure.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Mataji, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, Prabhu, now we can hear you.
Sorry, my connection got dropped. So sorry for that. So the point is that we have to be very careful, and that is why Srimad Bhagavatam gives so many examples. Just like we see in the life of Bhishma Dev, in his past life, he was Vasu, Dew, and he was so attached to his wife that his wife told him that if you want to please me, get me the cow of Vashishta Rishi. And he went and stole the cow, and that is how he gets cursed. We see Pururava roaming here and there, absolutely undressed for his such huge and strong attachment to Urvashi. We see Indra fighting when Sachi said that no more, this Parijat can't be taken away by Krishna. So Indra is ready to fight. We see Lord Shiva's attachment to Mother Sati when she gives up her body. He's dancing like a madman, taking her body. Lord, come and come and break the body. That is the strong attachment we carry, and that is why we all have to be very, very, very careful that where we are investing our emotions. We can't take anything very cheaply or very casually. It can fire back because we spend time with each other. See, we are not saying that we should be absolutely detached or we should be absolutely not be sensitive to each other's need. No, that's not the point. We have to be careful. Why? There are two things you have to understand. See, till the time you experience safety, security, love, care, affection here, we can't connect ourselves to Krishna. That's highly impossible. That won't happen. We have to experience Krishna's presence here. in the form of my family members, in the form of all the loving devotees around me. Till the time you can't feel safe with Krishna. But it has other side as well. It's okay that Krishna has given me these people, but at the same time, I also have to be very careful that my mind doesn't get attached here. Because we have so many examples. We have Bharat Maharaj as a classic case story, which we repeat in each and every Bhagavatam class. So point is not to be fearful. Point is to be careful. But we do opposite. We become fearful. No, it has to be more careful. Just like here in Rajasthan, we have one uh, king whose name was Hadi Raja. Very famous story here in Rajasthan. And he got married and his wife was very beautiful. She was so beautiful that entire day he used to be with her, around her. And he wouldn't attend all the events that his court and other things that which he was responsible for. And one day she understood that he's too attached to me. So she started to tell him that, see, you'll have to focus on your career, you'll have to focus on all those things that are required because you're the king here. And her name was Hadi Rani. So he said, okay, I'll manage everything, but I am very attached to you and I have to be with you. And time was spending, but he was not able to give up his attachment to her. And what happened was, one day, uh, the Mughals attacked his kingdom. And when the Mughals attacked, the minister came and told him that, sir, it is a serious emergency. You'll have to do something about this. But he was so absorbed in his mind with his wife. He said, okay, I'll come after some time. And his wife got very angry that you are the king, citizens are at stake, the whole country is at stake, and you are here with me. So that is the time, you get ready for the war, and I will come in a short time. So she goes inside, and he is still there in the kingdom. He is still there in his the place where his palace. And she goes inside, and then one servant comes, a lady servant comes, and she says that the Maharani has given you some gift, and there is a golden plate, and that gift is kept covered in that golden plate. And he feels, wow, the queen is so attached to me. She has sent a gift in this time also. And he opens the plate, and as he opens the plate, he sees that the queen has cut her head and placed that head on the plate, just to tell her that this body is of no good use, it will die sometimes, you first focus on your duty. And that is the time it strikes him so badly that immediately he takes that head, because he's so attached to his wife, and he ties that head around, he takes a string, ties that head around his own neck. He enters the battlefield, fights badly, very powerfully fights. He kills all the enemies. And at the end, since he has no hope, because all his hopes were in his wife, he was so attached to his wife, he also dies in the battle. So that is the attachment, strong attachment between a male and a female here, husband and wife. That attachment is so superly deep rooted that to give it up, Krishna is achieved. That is what is said in Shloka number 12. He has conquered the supreme personality of Godhead, because that attachment is so deep that Krishna expects that same deep attachment from the Jiva for himself. That is the point. We are here to experience that deep. See, entering Vrindavan is what? If somebody wants to enter Vrindavan, and Vrindavan is all about viraha, it's all about pain. But to understand that pain is also pleasure, we are given a facility here, that when you're attached deeply, madly to one person, and when that person goes away, how do you feel? You have to experience that Vipralamba here in your family first. Then you can appreciate the Vipralamba of the gopis, because it is absolute pain there. But in love, that pain also gives pleasure because the beloved is far away. I can't see him, I can't meet him, I can't speak to him, but I want to be with him. And that is what is going to happen when we are with Krishna. But for that, I need a first hand facility to understand, okay, what is that pain? What is that separation? What is it like to be with someone? That Vipralamba and that Sambhog has to be experienced here first. Without that, it can't make sense directly going and entering the Ras Leela. That separation of gopis doesn't make any sense for me because I have no experience here. The point is, we are here to experience those deep, intense emotions because I want all those deep and intense emotions for Krishna. Right now, it is not there in place. And that is why after the 13th shloka till the 18th, 19th shloka, the entire process of purification is given. Okay, you will have to go through the entire process of purification. Then you will do this, feed the brahmanas, do this for the needies, do that, do this yajna. And then you will come to the level of purity. That is the 19th to the 33rd section till the 30s. For that, you need a pure time, you need pure people, you need pure place, you need pure action. All 19 to 33 is all the protocols how to reach that purity state. So that at a given point, your consciousness will be so developed, your mind will be so pure that you can experience all these emotions for Krishna. The entire process of devotional service or karma yoga or jnana yoga is to bring the sadhaka to that point where he can appreciate the presence of Krishna. Right now, I can't appreciate Krishna's presence. Even if Krishna comes, first thing I won't be able to understand. Even if I understand, what will you do? How long you will see Krishna? How long you will be with Krishna? To experience Krishna, I need to have that purity, to have that consciousness. And that's the exact same point Prabhupada makes in this purport. Super soul is in everyone, but that super soul will give intelligence according to the capacity of understanding. Do we have the required understanding? And how will the super soul manifest, or how will the super soul tell you? Base Prabhupada writes is development of knowledge, austerity, penance, and so on. To reach the platform of Krishna consciousness, the family life becomes my foundation. The experiences here becomes my foundation. I have to experience some things. That is the time then I can understand, oh, if this pain here is so deep, or if the love here is so deep, but here it is temporary. I want a permanent option for this. That is where Krishna will enter the arena. Otherwise, the Paramatma will give instructions to, he gives instructions anyways to everybody. But it is based on the consciousness. That is what Prabhupada is writing here. See, there are Avrut Chetana, Sankuchit, there is Mukulit, there is Vikasit, and there is Purna Vikasit. These are the stages. And Paramatma deals with each and every set of jivas who have taken this body, and accordingly he will give them instructions. For example, trees, Avruta. Trees, no instruction. There is only one instruction. You have taken so much in the past life, now you only give. Fruits, he is giving. Shade, he is giving. Tree, branch, he is giving. The skin, everything is he is only giving because he has taken so much. So he is only covered. He has to give entire life. He is to serve. Through service, he'll gradually move ahead. That's the instruction because he's totally avrit, he's fully covered. Then birds, animals, that is sankuchit, very, very less covered. So only instructions given by Paramatma is eating, mating, sleeping, defending. Birds travel, migrate from one land to another. Who gives them instructions? The Paramatma is giving them instructions. What food to eat, when to eat, how to eat, what to do when, all, everything, they are so much in sync with the Paramatma. But they don't understand that the Paramatma is there. Who navigates such huge distance for these birds? It is the Paramatma. He gives them instructions. Humans, Mukulit, it is budding now. Facility to develop understanding beyond Ahar, Nidra, Bhai, Maitun is available here. Vikasit, the demigods, they understand the reality, whom to worship, why to worship, but even they fall a trap. And then there are pure devotees who can see the reality as it is. They can interact with the divine. They have developed the same qualities as the divine. And this is how the advancement in spiritual consciousness takes place. How much are you in sync with the reality? And that is why Prabhupada mentions this point, that the Vaishnavas are very, very important, because they help me understand the reality. They help me see at the reality in a proper way. Now, let's take an example. Last few points, and we'll stop the session here. We'll cover one story from sixth canto, just to see what we have gone, what shlokas we have revised. We'll now see the same thing in form of a story, because story is more relatable. We can understand what's happening. Now, how to reach at the top level of consciousness from the current level where we are filled with good and bad desires, good and bad tendencies. Now, let's take the example from 6th canto, 18th chapter. This is Diti vows to kill Indra. This is the chapter. Okay, we all know the chapter, but let's look at the basic points which Prabhupada covers in his purport. Now, let's take from shloka number 24. Now, Diti has a certain mindset about Indra. She says Indra is what? Bhratraha. He killed both my sons. Indriya Arama. He is only behind sense pleasure. Ulbana. He is very cruel. Aklinarida. He is very hard-hearted. Papam. He is filled with sins. Atataina. He has been very bad behavior. And at the end, he says, at the end of the 24 shlokas, he says, Shaye Sukam. I will only sleep peacefully when I will kill Indra. My mind will be pacified only when I kill Indra. Otherwise, I will not be able to be peaceful at any time. Now, let's compare two people here. Okay. First set, we will compare Indra and Diti. And in the second place, we'll compare Diti and Dhruva Maharaj. Why? Here, Diti is saying Bhratra, Indriyaram, Ulbana, Aklin Hridaya, Papam, Ghata Itwa. She's saying all negative things about Indra. But Diti forgets one thing, that her sons had behaved in the same manner with Indra as well. She forgot this point. Okay. So she is saying Indra is without intelligence. But if we read her own life, at this point, she is also without intelligence. Why? Because she can't discriminate good and bad. She can't see the bad side of her kids because they harmed Indra. She's saying Indra is hard-hearted, but she forgot that her sons were also hard-hearted. They created so much havoc, they created so much violence. And she's saying Indriya Arama, he can't think beyond good and bad, or he can't think of good of others. He only wants his own benefits. Diti also at the same time is seeing her own benefit, because she wants her mind to be pacified, and that comes from killing Indra. So I want to kill Indra because that is how I will be peaceful. So Indra and Diti have same mindset at a given point of time, because they are only and only thinking about their own benefit. They are not able to think beyond. Diti is not able to think that Indra cannot be killed because he is given position by Lord Vishnu himself. This is what happens when you are attached badly. You can't see beyond a certain broad spectrum. Things become so narrow, because that ego, that mind is troubling me so much that only when this happens, I will be happy. And in that state of mind, Diti goes to Kashyap Rishi to have sons who can kill Indra. And what is her thought process? She's saying, she's thinking that I'll tell Kashyap Rishi that he has gone mad because he has got power. But your sons also had power and they became mad and they killed so many people. They killed so many brahmanas, so many cows, so many trees were cut. The entire forest was cut. Hiranyakashipu gives this order. But that Sankuchita Buddhi, that conservative mind, she thinks that it is not in me, it is Indra who is wrong. And he has to be killed. When he is killed, then I will be happy. And to get her purpose solved, she went to what extent? She loved her husband. She was entirely humble. She controlled her senses. She spoke only and only sweet words. Now, if the same thing could have been done to achieve Lord Vishnu, everything would have been first class and happy. Okay. Now comes the role of Kashyap Rishi. Now Kashyap Rishi becomes so happy by her service, that Kashyap Rishi forgets the past experience with Diti. He already had one experience with Diti during the birth of whom? Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. He fell prey to her again, and here also second time he has fallen prey. But fortunately, Lord within, as the super soul, tells him, Sir, this is the same mistake you have made. Now, at least this time, do something that will help you also and help Diti also. Now, what to do? Because Prabhupada is writing here, the super soul is in everybody's body and gives intelligence to the individual soul. So, Kashyap Rishi gets that indication from super soul that you devise a way by which her impure desires will be removed, will be completely purified, and she can forget and rise above the thought of killing Indra. And that is where Kashyap Rishi, initially he was so aghast because he said, Oh my God, I've fallen again to the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord. And I have given her word, and now I have to fulfill the word. But if I fulfill her word, the Lord will punish me for killing Indra, because Indra cannot be killed, because that is the position given for a specified time. Indra has to live. Most of the time, devotees have this question: why he is doing so many mistakes? He is not killed. He can't be killed because that is a position for a specified period of time. And that is why Indra has to be kept in place. See, Kashyap Rishi understand that his wife can be replaced, but Indra cannot be replaced because Indra is given position by the Supreme Lord himself. Now, point number 2. Diti's heart is filled with revenge. She, at any cost, she is ready to do anything in this entire three world to get Indra killed. Now, let's compare another two set. Let's compare Diti and Dhruva. Both had same desires. What? Kill, destroy. One wanted his stepmother, other wanted Indra. But the attitude is same. The thought process is same. Revenge. I want revenge. And revenge is an impure thought. It is a sign of an unclean heart. Okay. Now, both have one good thing in common. Both have some person who can help them at the given point of time. One is helped by Narad Muni, other is helped by Kashyap Rishi. And both of them, surprisingly, if you read the entire chapters, both of them are giving the first and the same instructions. Na himsya. Don't think negative about anybody while you are doing this tapasya. Dhruva said the same thing by his mother. Narad Muni also says the same thing. And here, Kashyap Rishi is saying the same thing to Diti. No himsya. Don't think negative, not even about killing Indra. When you're doing tapasya, you only perform tapasya. You don't think bad about anyone. And that is where Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur makes a very brilliant point. He says this is the power of Vaishnav tapasya. When we worship Lord Vishnu, what is the best part? Why we should not worship demigods? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, by doing Vaishnava Tapa, a person is completely purified. The Lord is so clever that he will purify the desires, and he will not fulfill the impure desires of that soul or that person. Lord makes it sure that at any given point of time, the results of evil desires will not be fructified, will not be bestowed. This is the power of a Vaishnav Tapa. Lord will make sure that doesn't fructify. So both of them get purified by their devotional austerity. They become free from anger. And then at a certain point of time, when the mind is pure, they rise up in consciousness, and then they are able to see the reality as it is. That is the power of Vaishnav Tap. And that is why here again and again in the shlokas, in the previous shlokas, that one point why Krishna is to be worshipped by, in the 36th shloka, why Krishna is to be worshipped? That point is given. Same point. Why Krishna? Why Krishna? Because Krishna makes sure that the desires is fulfilled in such a way that the devotee won't ask it again. The evil tendency are completely gone, and they can see the entire picture. Dhruva also repents, and at the end, Diti also repents. She says, "Oh my God, what a blunder I was doing. I was trying to kill Indra, who is serving the Supreme Lord." Dhruva also says the same thing. "Oh my God, I was behind my mother, trying to kill her." Hmm? And that is where we have to understand the power of worshipping Lord Vishnu, and this is not available in any other place. Now let's come to the last point. Now Dhruva also got purified, Diti also got purified. Okay. Now one shloka, very beautiful shloka, 6:18:74. 6 canto, 18 chapter. Same chapter of Diti, trying to kill Indra. I want to highlight only on this shloka and we'll end the session here. And this is a very beautiful shloka. The entire point that we are trying to make is here. Okay. Now, what is the shloka? The shloka is very simple. Aradhanam bhagavata ihamana nirashishah. Ye tu na icchanti api param. Te swartha kushalha smritah. So, Aradhanam bhagavata. How the Supreme Lord has to be worshipped? Why worship? Because there is swa artha. There is your desire. You have a certain desire. Okay. So, how has the Lord to be worshipped? Then that comes in the 75th shloka. Now, how to fulfill your desire? Then they are saying in the 75th shloka, Aradhya Atma Pradam Devam Swa Atmam Jagadishwaram Ko Vrinita Gunasparsham Buddhi Syan Narake Pisyan. He says that if you want to worship the Supreme Lord, then don't worship the Supreme Lord for something that is even available in the Narka. Okay? You worship for that which is not available very easily. So, what is not very available easily? It is ask for the love of Krishna. Okay. Now, before that, there is one beautiful word that comes here, Nir Ashishah, and that is highlighted by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his commentary. He says that Parama means liberation. If you desire liberation, still you go to Supreme Lord. If you have material desire, still you go to the Supreme Lord. But if you want to make sure that the Lord fulfills your desires, then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is focusing on this word, Nir Ashishah. He said, just go and serve the Supreme Lord, Nir Ashishah, without any desires. Don't tell him that I want this, I want that. That is none of your business. You just go and start serving the Supreme Lord. And once the Supreme Lord is pleased, he will fulfill all your desires in the best possible manner. So, what is the point? Nir Ashishah, without any material desire. When the Lord sees that this devotee is serving me without any desire, Lord will make sure that he fulfills all your desires. Just give him some time. I was hearing one beautiful class by His Holiness Devamrit Swami Maharaj. He was giving this in New Zealand. And he quoted this story that they always desired to have a farm community, and so that they can have devotee retreats there, japa retreats, Bhagavatam classes, and some good time where devotees can spend for their sadhana. And Maharaj had this long time desire, and Maharaj was always praying that may the Lord give. And there was one person who always used to come to the temple, and um, he used to visit, he used to come, do some services, go contribute whatever was possible. And the devotees there got to understand that Maharaj had this desire that they have some community, so that they have some land, some good place where there is a river flowing by, and this and that. And they were discussing. And this simple looking person, he comes and tells, "You guys look very stressed. Anything I can do or help?" So they thought, there is such a simple person. What can he be able to do, and how we would be able to help? He said devotees were avoiding him for quite some time. But one day he was very persistent. He said, "Tell me, I can help you in some way or the other." And then the devotees told that our Guru Maharaj has this desire and he wants to have a place where they can build up a nice farm community for devotees. He says, okay. And he left. And after some days, he called all the devotees and he told them there is a place. So would you like to have a look at the place? So the devotees went, they had a look, and the place was very beautiful. And they told that yes, it is very beautiful. Guru Maharaj will surely like this. And this person, he made all the arrangements for the devotees to buy that place. And that place now belongs to the devotee community there, where Maharaj is preaching. So when this one point, what that let's not force Krishna that do this, nir ashishah. The end point is what? Purifying our hearts will come by this attitude, nir ashishah. When there is nir ashishah, then Krishna will manifest everything and anything that is beyond our capacity. Just wait for the magic to happen. But for the magic to happen, we will have to have heart which is nir ashisha. Why? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, a person who is still controlled by the laws of nature, Krishna will not manifest before him because he is controlled by somebody else. If you want Krishna to control you, then nir ashisha is the only way by which we can tell Krishna, now you control. Now, whatever karma has to come, let it come through you. Whatever has to happen through my body, some service, some good service, let it happen through you. That is the power of nir ashisha. So the transition between being full of desires to have no desires will come through a proper way. Just like Dhruva also had a mentor, and Diti also had a mentor who could purify their hearts by a proper process, and they came to such a level of consciousness that they were able to interact. One was able to see the super soul, and one was able to have devotee kids who were supportive to the mission of the Supreme Lord. So, this one point, Nirashisha, let's focus on this. Let our entire life be filled with this one thought that someday I become Nirashisha without any material desire, so that I can serve the mission in the mood of servant, and I can be of some good use for the mission of Srila Prabhupada. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this very, very wonderful class. You very beautifully gave so many examples from different cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam and established the main goal to do Ananya Bhakti. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very, very
Hare
convincing.
Krishna. Yes.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna. I request Anuradha Mataji, you can please ask your question.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Very, very intense class, Prabhu, regarding that pigeon story and the story before. I have two questions, Prabhu. One is when you said that Chetna, the consciousness, is the same as the kosha, what we hear, Anandamaya kosha, Annamaya kosha. Is it the same thing?
No, Mataji. That is the layers. And this, what we are saying, is the level of the consciousness to what the jiva has risen or he has fallen. The covering on the jiva, the ignorance covering. We are speaking in this about the covering of ignorance.
Okay.
When we speak of Chetana, the Chetana is covered by ignorance. So, to what extent is his Chetana covered by ignorance? So, that is where this 5 stages come.
So isn't that Anandamaya, the what do you say, the Annamaya kosha, when our consciousness is only in food and then in mind, and then is it not?
Yes, we can in that way relate, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
where can we read about the Chetna? It's in Srila
Actually,
Prabhu.
this is there. I got from this. Prabhupada also quotes it many times, but
Yeah.
more prominently, I got it from this Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary.
Okay, Prabhu. And the second thing I was thinking, Prabhu, I mean, towards the end you did speak about it, but I want to hear it one more time for myself, more clarification. Like, in the beginning, I'm talking for myself, like, it's so easy to leave things, whether you're talking about Bollywood song or, eating at restaurant, but eventually, just talking for myself, it might come back. So, one way devotional service is so attractive. We get into it, or I got into it, and then I felt like leaving everything. And eventually it comes back, something or the other, the tendency comes back. So it's kind of discouraging, at least for me. I feel that, okay, at one point of time I was doing what, I was expected to do. And then I'm getting into the thing. Will I ever be a time where I will actually not, desire it and never get back to it ever again, like, genuine thing, than being a forced renunciate? Is my question clear, Prabhu?
So you're asking that the previous tendencies have come back, and that's what is discouraging.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, okay. Uh, this is a very general and a natural flow of events that is happening. So let's not get discouraged about it. The reason is, initially the flow of rasa, which you were able to experience in your devotional practices, now that rasa has gone down. So the natural consequence of the experiences, higher experiences going down, is mind will start searching for experiences which has given him pleasure in the past, and that is where the past comes again into picture. So let's not get discouraged, because it's a very natural flow. It is only indicative that you are not doing all those things which were giving you pleasure. Okay, I'll give you some examples to make it more clear. What happens is, especially all the preachers, those who are into preaching, can relate to this very easily. What happens is, when initially everybody is like, I want to go back to Godhead, and this chanting is so nice and dancing is so nice, and eventually we take on some role as a devotee, or as a practitioner, or as a counselor, or as a preacher, or as a book distributor. So what happens in that is, we tend to become more uh, try to become just like it's in corporate culture. We go to job, we come back from job, we do our chores, and we sleep and get up again and do the entire thing. And that is where, in Gita, this solution is given. This is 6.17, Yuktahar Vihar, that famous shloka. And the end last part is where Krishna is saying avabodha. Avabodha is the awareness part. So awareness has to be very, very clear as to what is my current position right now. As soon as you feel that I am getting back to my old habits, immediately there has to be an analysis. Just like in Diti's case, Kashyap Rishi immediately made an analysis as to what is she thinking and what she is all about to do. And that is where he formulates a proper strategy to get her back on track. Similarly, when we don't have the flow of rasa coming into our lives, immediately we should step back from whatever duties it is. Maybe you are a preacher, maybe thousands of people are waiting for you for counseling, this and that, and ABCD, everything can wait. But you becoming dry, that doesn't wait, because that dryness simply goes on increasing. And that is where we see even Madhyam Adhikari coming down to the Kanishta Adhikari platform, because his Sangha and his sadhana are not up to mark. He is not able to relish bhakti. His bhakti has become mechanical, and that is why the flow of rasa is stopped. So, the simple solution for this is, try and find n number of places where you feel nourished. Maybe it is an association of devotees, maybe it is hearing from a certain devotee, maybe it is going to some certain place for yatra, or certain place where you write about what is happening, or you analyze those things, or be more aware. When you do all these things, you easily get back on track. And the previous experience, one more solution that is given is the previous experiences that you had in devotional life, you try to relive them, just like the Vrajvasis did. Every time they were enacting the pastimes of Krishna. Why were they enacting the pastimes of Krishna? Because they could feel the rasa, they could get nourished by the rasa, they could feel Krishna there. They had that taste continuously, and that is why they were able to survive till the time Krishna came back to Vrindavan. So that is how you handle this phase. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu. I mean, I was thinking of another thing to it. I mean, we live in a community which is very active. So, we get influenced by other devotees also. I was thinking sometimes again for myself, like might be hearing a Bollywood song and we'll say that it's nothing. It is for Krishna only, though it's a Bollywood song, but I'm relating Krishna to it. So, how do we yukta vaidagya even to Bollywood song, Prabhu?
Okay. So let's understand this by the definition of sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti is kriti, sadhya. It is through kriti. Okay, now just like you are saying, I sing a song in a Bollywood tune, but it is an Hare Krishna tune. Kriti sadhya bhavet sadhya. But when that kriti is performed, there is a sadhya. Okay, sadhya bhava. Are your bhava for Krishna getting nourished, or are your bhava for the material sound that you feel you like and you think you're trying to connect it with Krishna? So, which bhava is getting prominent? Only you can tell the truth. And you will have to analyze whether which bhava. If you're trying to sing it again and again, it ultimately means that you like the song and you're living in that song, and that song is developing the bhav for this material sound. It is not for Krishna.
Super, Prabhu. Being a neophyte, will I be able to know what's my bhava actually is?
Yes, bhav, you can experience the bhav when you sing that tune in a certain way. Are you feeling real attraction for Krishna, or are you feeling real attraction for the tune? Are you remembering Krishna, or are you remembering something that was a part of you in your past? You have to
Sure.
analyze this.
Thank you so much. End of it, I just want to thank you and want to tell you how much I'm sure all of us appreciate your class. Please come more frequently to very relatable classes. Prabhu. Thank you so much. Very grateful.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhu, for this wonderful answer. Next, I request Shamagori Mataji, you can please ask your
Hare
question.
Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for nectarian class and wonderful stories, Prabhuji. And thank you so much for giving the different aspect of life. The husband and wife, they are so much attracted. So as the children and the wife, they are attracted. So somebody goes away, that Krishna is showing us that we need to feel separation, how the gopis are feeling. So that's why it is in our life. So thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderful class.
Thank you, Mataji. All credits to you for your follow-up. Very
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for the wonderful comment. Next, I request Balram Prasad Prabhu, you can ask your question.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, what a nectarian flow of this class. I have a couple questions on an attachment and detachment. One is, I was thinking about when you're talking about a detachment, couple things came in my mind. One is the Sridhar Swami, how he left home, looking
Yes.
at the lizard, right? That's one thing. Then the second one I was thinking, Kardama Muni, Devahuti was pregnant and about to, supposed to give birth to a child. But before that, Kardama Muni leaves home. So he was a grahastha, but how, of course, he was supposed to take care of the at least the baby. He did not see the baby or whatnot. I was just wondering how that detachment comes. It's very grave. I don't know how to digest that part. We are, as a grahasthas at home, of course, we'll say we have detached or attached. We will should have attachment should not be there, but affection should be there. But at the end of the day, subtle attachments are always there. It's very difficult to come out. Maybe if you can highlight and give some thoughts. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhu, what you are saying is absolutely right. We do have those attachments, and yes, what you said about affection and attachment, these 2 points will always be there, because that's the nature of the jiva. He is attached to Krishna, and he has that affection to Krishna. But on the journey, what I the first point that I made was is Krishna will just want to see uh, whether how much care are you taking to be more careful. Okay, and if we are careful, and even after that we fall, it's not at all a problem. Not at all a problem, because if you read the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it is very very clear. Just like for from the very famous flow of four shlokas from 12.8 to 12.12, this shlokas where Krishna is saying, "Who is more devoted to me?" and all those things. So Krishna is somehow or the other trying to make a point that, are you desiring to be connected to me? Okay. So in our journey, if we are sincerely struggling, I'm not saying we are sincerely trying and endeavoring and we are successful. No, we are sincerely struggling to somehow or other be connected to Krishna. That's the grand success for a sadhaka. Why? See, for a siddha, Krishna is not attached more to siddha. He's more attached to sadhaka. This point I'm making is from the same section, 12.8 to 12.12. Krishna makes it very clear there. See, for a Siddha, Siddha already knows everything about Krishna. He is with Krishna all the time. Just like a father, he has two kids. One is fully grown, mature, and other is a baby. Whom is the father more attached to? He's not attached to the grown-up child. He's attached to the child who's still not able to take care properly of himself. Similarly, for us, we are like that small kid, and Krishna knows he will make mistakes. He may fall, he may have some loopholes, but the entire thing is just like the child comes back to his mother again and again, again and again. When he spoils his clothes, when he spills something, he comes back to his mother. Krishna is only eager to see that, are you coming back to me, or are you finding somebody else as your shelter? So it's not much of a problem if we feel affection to our wife. And if you ask me, Prabhuji, if you're attached to your wife, I would say you're more safe and secure. Because at the end of the day, you really, really love somebody. We have so many cases where they make a show of that, yes, they are attached to their wife, but at the end of the day, they are attached to somebody else as well. So, considering that point, you are far more safer and secure because you genuinely love somebody, and that person is somebody who is genuinely loving you. So, you're in a more safe position rather than faking. Krishna really appreciates mityachara se uchyate. So, at least we are trying not to be mityacharis. We are trying to be sincere in our practices, trying to come up, rise up in the level of consciousness, trying to hear and again from devotees, from senior devotees, from junior devotees, whoever comes, we are hearing. Can you imagine what kind of pleasure Krishna is getting in all these things? Just trying to show him that, yes, I want to be with you. I want to be connected with you. That in itself is giving immense, immense pleasure to Krishna. So just like Kardam Muni's example you gave, Kardam Muni left home only when, this is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's purport. Prabhupada also writes this. Uh, he left home when Kapil Muni grew up. He didn't live when he was a child. So he left doing all his duties, and it was his desire to practice Ashtanga Yoga. Lord was there, he could have stayed at home and still he would have gone back. But it was his desire to practice Ashtanga Yoga, and the requirement for practicing Ashtanga Yoga is that you have to be away from your family. That's a basic protocol there. And since he was Ashtanga Yogi, initially when Lord Vishnu gives him darshan, it was through the medium of Ashtanga Yoga. So he had a natural practice of Ashtanga Yoga, and that is why his natural inclination was more stronger. He takes permission from the Lord that now let me meditate on you and let me get back to you. And that is how he leaves home and goes back. Okay, bro?
Maybe I have mistaken there. Thank you, bro. See, another question rises. Actually, if you look at the demigods, the Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, they are of such a how can I say, whether there are two definitions there. One is an elevated devotee and one is a pure devotee. How do I differentiate? What's the difference in somebody says a very elevated devotee and somebody says it's a very pure devotee? What's the difference and how should I understand, Prabhu?
The elevated, when we use the term elevated, it means in terms of consciousness. And when we say pure devotee, it also means in terms of consciousness. So both words define the same consciousness. Now, according to various examples, you will have to differentiate as to who is being spoken about.
Lord Brahma.
Okay, so Lord Brahma, if we say Lord Brahma has a higher level of consciousness, that is true. He's a pure devotee, that is true, because third canto makes it very clear about his status. But if you speak in terms of realization, his realizations are still not complete, and this is shown when it comes to Brahma Vimohan Leela. Okay, so to enter the pastimes of Vrindavan, he had to wait for 50 years. This is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says. And in the 51st year, he sees Krishna as the Golokeshwar or Nandanandan Krishna. That is how long it has taken for him to rise to that level of consciousness, where he can see Krishna as the supreme, and yes, he can enter Golok Vrindavan as the supreme destination for any conditioned soul.
So what was the word you used? It's a realization. That means even though his consciousness is elevated, he's not completely realized. Okay.
He doesn't have the topmost realization. He has perfect realization, but the topmost realization is when somebody comes to the conclusion that Sarva Avatari Krishna, Ishvara Parama Krishna, and that has happened in the 51st year, and that is where Brahma Samhita comes into picture.
But that also kind of a discussion, Prabhu. See whether this might be because of the Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya would have covered Brahma's consciousness so that the past tense can happen. So I'm kind of contemplating, like it may not be true the way what I'm saying. That might be another doubt, right? So otherwise, Krishna past time would not happen like that. So they're actually like Indra and Lord Brahma, they're all there in this pastime, in one understanding. So
Right. So for Brahma, the point that is made here, see, if you read third canto, we see initially Brahma doing a lot of tapasya. Okay.
Yes.
After tapasya, Lord Vishnu comes into picture. And when Lord Vishnu comes into picture, then the Mahamaya covering is removed. That is where he comes into a very clear state of mind as to who is the supreme, why is this things happening, all those things become very clear. But that clarity is not sufficient. That clarity is Hare Krishna.
Something
Am I
happens.
audible?
Yeah, now are you audible, Prabhu? Please go ahead.
Okay. But that clarity is not sufficient for him to come to the clear understanding that yes, that Krishna, because he still has that confusion between Vishnu and Krishna. Okay. And that is cleared in Brahma Vimohan Leela. Because he sees Vishnu, each form of the Gopa, each form of Krishna, he sees Vishnu in that. That is where he comes to conclusion that, oh, okay, Krishna is even superior to whom I am worshipping. Okay, so he gets that clear understanding of the topmost person when he comes in contact with the Brajvasis. When he has come into Vrindavan, when he touches the land of Vrindavan, that is where he starts getting the required qualification to understand. So attention, what we need is the topmost devotees on that platform.
But do you think
Then
the
only, just
Brahma
like,
Samhita is one of the top highest realizations?
yes,
Right.
but he got that when he
Mhm.
came in touch with Brajvasis.
Oh, in that way.
Ah,
And that's why he wants to become a hill in.
yes, yes. That is where the desire arises.
Got it, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Okay,
I was just
okay.
had this doubt many times. I don't know whom to ask for. I felt you're the right person to answer. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. Hari Hari.
We'll
Thank
wind
you.
up here, Mataji. I have some more sessions.
Okay, Prabhuji, sure. So, Parampurni Mataji, we can take your question later as Prabhuji is busy. So, let's pay obeisances to all the Vaishnavas and Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
Anantapurti Vaishnav
वैष्णवेभ्यो
Vrinda
नमो
ki
नमः।
jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila
जय
Prabhupada ki jai,
जय
Praise Sukumar Gaur Prabhu ji ki jai.
जय
Thank you, Prabhuji.
जय
Koti koti
गौरंग
namaskar.
नित्यानंद
Dhanyawad.
Dear
हरि
devotees,
हरि बोल।